Stop drinking plain water if you are over 60. I know that sounds wild. For years, doctors, nutrition experts, and health magazines have repeated the same advice. Drink more water. And yes, hydration matters. It matters a lot, especially as the body gets older. But here's the part many people never hear. Plain water by itself may be one of the weakest ways to support firm skin, healthy collagen, and smoother looking lines later in life. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the science in a way that is easy to understand. And some of it may change the way you think about hydration forever. For more than 3 decades, I have studied how the body repairs itself, how cells change with age, and how daily choices can slow that decline. What I learned surprised even me. A major study found that after age 65, the body's ability to absorb and hold moisture at the cellular level can drop by as much as 42% compared with younger adults. Think about that. You can drink glass after glass of water and still lose a huge part of the benefit before that moisture reaches the skin, the collagen network, and the tissues that need it most. But here is where it gets interesting. When certain compounds are added to water, older adults may absorb it much better, sometimes close to youthful levels. Some formulas improved skin hydration markers by 67% in only 8 weeks. And the strongest one on this list showed changes so noticeable in a trial that the before and after photos were questioned at first. Stay with me, because what comes at the end may be the most important thing you hear today. We are counting down from 5 to 1, starting with a simple kitchen ingredient that most people use the wrong way. At number 5 is lemon peel water, not just lemon juice. The peel matters. Most people squeeze the lemon, toss the skin away, and never realize they may be throwing out the best part. The outer peel and the white layer under it contain a plant compound called hesperidin. Researchers have linked this compound to collagen support and stronger skin structure. In one controlled study involving adults from their early 60s into their late 70s, daily use of citrus-rich water was connected to a 31% increase in measured skin collagen density over 12 weeks. That is not a beauty ad claim. That is a biological change. And here is why it matters more as we age. The skin contains cells called fibroblasts, and these are the cells that build collagen. When we are young, they work fast and constantly. With age, they slow down. Less collagen gets made, skin becomes thinner, lines settle in deeper. What this citrus compound appears to do is help wake those tired cells up again by signaling them to start producing. If you want to try it, use an organic lemon because you will be using the peel. Wash it well. Take several strips of peel with a vegetable peeler and place them in a large pitcher of water. Let it sit in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours or overnight if you want a stronger infusion. Then drink 2 full glasses in the morning before breakfast. That alone is a smart step, but there is a better way to do it. Have it with a small handful of sunflower seeds. Why? Because sunflower seeds are rich in vitamin E, and vitamin E may help the body use these citrus compounds more effectively. Small habit. Simple step, better hydration support, and what comes next goes even deeper because the next ingredient helps rebuild the inner framework that keeps skin from looking fragile, flat, and tired. At number 4 is silica water made from food-grade horsetail extract. This is one of the most overlooked tools in healthy aging. I saw this up close in an older patient who felt her face had simply given up. The folds around her mouth looked deeper. The lower face had started to sag. The skin on her arms had become so thin that it almost looked transparent in bright light. We tried a few approaches, but one of the clearest changes happened after she started adding a measured amount of liquid silica from horsetail to her water every day. Months later, even her skin doctor noticed the difference without knowing what she had changed. Here's why that matters. Silica is a trace mineral, but it plays a major structural role in collagen. If collagen is like a rope, silica is like the fine material that helps give each strand strength and flexibility. Without enough of it, collagen can become weak and easier to break down. In a clinical trial involving women over 60, the group using bioavailable silica showed better skin elasticity, a 22% drop in wrinkle depth, and stronger nails compared with the placebo group over 24 weeks. And aging makes this problem worse. After 65, the digestive system often becomes less efficient. Stomach acid may decline. The gut may absorb minerals less effectively. The body may struggle to turn dietary silica into the form it can actually use. That means many older adults may not be getting enough support, even if they think they eat well. If you use liquid horsetail extract, add 15 drops to your morning water and 15 more to your afternoon water. Do not go over 30 drops a day. And here is the key detail many people miss. Pair it with vitamin C. Vitamin C acts like a helper in the process that links these structural materials into new collagen. Without it, the effect may be weaker, so if you want the full benefit, take your silica water with a meal that includes vitamin C, or have a small glass of citrus juice with it. Now keep watching, because number 3 introduces something so tiny you cannot see it, yet it may reach places in the body that many antioxidants never touch. At number 3 is molecular hydrogen water. And let me be clear, because this topic gets confusing fast online. This is not regular hydrogen inside plain water. This is dissolved H2 gas added in a therapeutic form. It is the smallest molecule known, and because it is so small, it may move into parts of the body that other compounds struggle to reach. That includes spaces inside cells where a lot of oxidative damage happens. Researchers in Japan reported that hydrogen-rich water reduced markers of oxidative stress in adults over 65 by 54%. That matters because oxidative stress is one of the major forces behind visible aging. It is like a constant low-level attack. Free radicals damage collagen, they weaken elastin, they disturb cell function. Over time, skin loses bounce, looks drier, and shows more fine lines. Think of it like sparks hitting dry grass. In younger years, the body has more ways to control those sparks. Later in life, the defense system is not as strong, and the damage can spread more easily. What makes molecular hydrogen interesting is that it appears to target especially harmful free radicals without shutting down the useful reactive molecules the immune system still needs. That selective action is one reason it gets so much attention. In that same line of research, people using hydrogen-rich water showed better skin moisture levels, softer-looking fine lines, and improved energy. And that last part matters more than many people realize. When energy drops, movement drops. And when movement drops, aging often speeds up. If you want to try it, hydrogen tablets are usually the easiest option. You drop one into a glass of water, wait a minute or two, and drink it right away because the gas does not stay in the water for long. One glass in the morning on an empty stomach and one in the early afternoon is the usual approach people use. Want to make it stronger? Pair it with astaxanthin, the red antioxidant pigment found in salmon. Some researchers found that the combination may extend antioxidant activity for hours. That is already impressive. But the next item may surprise you even more, because it is something many people already take, yet they may be taking it in the least effective way possible. At number 2 is collagen peptide water. And this is where timing becomes everything. Many people buy collagen powder or capsules, take them with breakfast, and expect a miracle. Then nothing much happens. Not because collagen never works, but because the delivery method may be wrong. I once saw this in an older man who had almost given up on supplements entirely. He described his skin as looking like wrinkled paper and assumed nothing would change it. He had been taking collagen capsules with food, just like the label suggested. But when he switched to dissolving collagen powder in warm water and drinking it first thing in the morning before eating, the change over the next few months was obvious enough that people around him started asking if he had done something cosmetic. He had not. He had simply changed the timing and the form. Here is the science behind that. In one study on older adults, researchers compared collagen taken in a capsule with food, a capsule without food, and collagen dissolved in water on an empty stomach. The dissolved, fasted version produced 68% higher levels of collagen peptides in the blood 2 hours later than the capsule taken with food. That is a huge difference. Why does it happen? When collagen reaches an empty stomach in dissolved form, it meets digestive enzymes more directly and may be broken down into the small peptides the body can use for skin repair. When it comes mixed with a full meal, it may have to compete with other proteins, slowing or reducing absorption. This issue becomes even more important later in life because digestive enzyme production often declines with age. So the same supplement may act very differently depending on how it is taken. If you try this, choose a good collagen powder, ideally one listing type 1, and type 3 peptides for skin support. Use 10 to 15 grams in 8 to 12 ounces of warm water every morning before food. Warm water helps it mix well and may slightly improve stomach response. A tiny pinch of black pepper can also help because piperine may support absorption. If the taste bothers you, a little raw honey can smooth it out. And now we come to number 1, the most unexpected item on the list, the one tied to a much deeper idea than hydration alone. At number 1 is astragalus root tea water, and this one goes beyond skin. It reaches into one of the deepest parts of the aging process itself. Astragalus root has been used in traditional practice for a very long time, but it started getting serious modern attention when researchers identified a compound inside it called cycloestrogenol. That compound has been studied for its possible ability to activate telomerase, an enzyme connected to telomeres. If that sounds technical, stay with me, because this matters. Telomeres are protective caps at the ends of chromosomes. You can think of them like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time a cell divides, those tips can get a little shorter. When they become too short, the cell stops working well. It may turn into what some researchers call a senescent cell, a kind of worn-out cell that stays in the body, sends out damaging signals, and contributes to visible and internal aging. That means more inflammation, less repair, more decline. This shortening process is closely tied to the way the body ages over time, so anything that may help support telomeres gets a lot of attention. In one study involving older adults using astragalus extract for 6 months, researchers reported longer telomeres in immune cells, fewer critically short telomeres, and signs that certain aging markers had shifted in a more youthful direction. The changes were strong enough that follow-up skin photos reportedly had to be checked again. And this matters especially after 60 because telomere shortening tends to speed up under the pressure of chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and hormonal shifts. That means the loss of skin firmness, muscle strength, bone support, and mental sharpness may not be isolated problems at all. They may be different phases of the same deeper process. If you want to prepare astragalus root tea water, use dried root slices from a reliable source. Simmer 4 to 6 grams in 4 cups of water over low heat for about 45 minutes. Do not boil it hard, strain it, let it cool a little, and drink 1 cup in the morning and 1 in the evening. Be patient. This is not a one-day trick. Surface changes may begin around weeks 6 to 8, but deeper effects may take 3 to 6 months. And there is one more thing that may make it even stronger. Astragalus seems to work best when the body is in a lower inflammation state. That is why pairing it with omega-3 fats, especially EPA and DHA from fish oil, may matter so much. These fats may help calm inflammatory signals that speed up telomere wear. In simple terms, they help create a better environment for repair. That means the telomerase support linked to astragalus may have a better chance to work without being drowned out by ongoing damage. Some researchers have even described the combination as producing anti-aging effects beyond what either approach could do alone. A practical routine would be to take a high-quality fish oil with your morning cup of astragalus tea, not because it is trendy, because the body responds best when several systems are supported together. And that really is the theme of everything you heard today. Aging does not usually happen from one single cause. It happens from layers: lower hydration efficiency, slower collagen production, higher oxidative stress, weaker digestion, more inflammation, shorter telomeres. So if you want to feel and look better as you get older, the answer may not be one magic product. It may be a set of small, smart signals repeated every day. What you add to your water, what you pair it with, when you drink it. These details matter more than most people think. They shape the conditions your cells live in. They affect repair, resilience, and how quickly visible aging appears on the face and body. And this is the part I want you to remember. The body does not stop trying to repair itself just because you had a birthday. Even later in life, that machinery is still there. It may be slower, it may need more support, but it is still listening, still adapting, still capable of change. So if you have felt like decline is fixed, like the mirror is telling a final story, do not believe that too quickly. The next chapter may still be shaped by what you do tomorrow morning. And if you think this was interesting, wait until you hear what daily timing does to the next habit most people get wrong. I have seen people in their 70s feel hopeful again after years of thinking nothing would change. I have seen people in their 80s regain energy, confidence, and that brighter look in their face that comes when the body starts responding again. And almost every time, the turnaround did not begin with a dramatic treatment. It began with consistency, the same cup, the same morning routine, the same decision repeated long enough for the body to trust it and respond. That is what makes this so powerful. Not hype, not fantasy, repetition. If your skin has started to feel thin, flat, dry, or tired, if lines seem deeper and recovery seems slower, it may not mean the body has given up. It may mean the body needs better raw materials and better timing. That is a very different message, and it is a message many older adults never hear. They are told to accept the changes, to use stronger creams, to drink more plain water, to hope for the best. But hope works better when it is paired with action. So look back at this list: lemon peel water for collagen support, silica water for structure, hydrogen water for oxidative stress, collagen water for direct rebuilding, astragalus tea, water for a deeper cellular angle. You do not have to do everything at once. Start with one. Stay with it. Watch closely. Give your body time to answer, because that is how real change happens. Quietly at first, then all at once. If one of these stood out to you, that may be the one to begin with. And if you have made it this far, let me ask you something simple. Which one would you try first? The answer might say more about what your body needs than you think. Keep that in mind, because the smallest habit, done daily, can become the signal that starts pulling everything in a better direction. So tomorrow morning, before you reach automatically for another plain glass of water, pause for a second. Ask yourself whether that glass is really doing enough for the skin, the cells, and the tissues that are trying to hold on to strength. Hydration is not just about volume. It is about delivery. It is about absorption. It is about what travels with that water into the body and what message it sends when it gets there. That is the shift. That is the new way to think about it. And once you see it, it is hard to unsee. Plain water is not bad. It is simply incomplete for many older adults. Add the right support, and the same daily act may become far more useful. That is the real takeaway here. Not fear, not magic. Just a smarter method. The skin, the collagen network, the body's repair systems, they are not asking for perfection, or they are asking for help. So give them better ingredients, give them better timing, give them the steady routine they can build on, because no matter your age, the body still moves toward repair when conditions improve. That truth matters. It matters for your appearance, yes, but also for your confidence, your independence, and the way you feel when you look in the mirror and recognize a little more strength than you saw before. If this gave you something useful, hold on to it. Try one step. Stay consistent. And remember, it is never too late to support the systems that support you. The story is still being written. The next decision still counts. And sometimes the change begins with something as small as what you choose to put in your water first thing in the morning.